Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League. And we are here for the Austrian Grand Prix. This is brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. I am Tim, back once again, and with me is my co-commentator, as always, Malc.
How you doing, mate? You alright?
I'm doing fine, waiting to see how this race is going to play out after a nail-biter of a finish in Bahrain from last week. Sab, a longtime member of Invictus Racing League, picking up his first win in quite a while and telling us that, maybe now he seems like he's back to form.
Yeah, I mean, he has definitely gone back to form, to be fair. After winning this sprint as well as the feature race, it was a stellar of a job from him at the Bahrain Grand Prix last week. And let's see if he can try and do it again. But he'll be absolutely under a lot of pressure, whatever happens tonight. But we have to wait and see how everything goes. Hello to AJ. How you doing, mate? You alright? Hope you came well. We're about to start, aren't we, Tim? We're about to start the sprint race.
That we are, and it's a little bit different this week for those of you who may be wondering, what about a sprint race? I thought we're supposed to go into qualifying. Well, the way we're doing things this season is we only had the short qualifying for the first round. Now, every race will be determined by a sprint race. Now, how do we determine the lineup for the sprint race? Well, it's simple. It is essentially a reverse grid from the feature race the week before. Any cars that did not start or were disqualified will start in the back regardless. Otherwise, if you finished last place last week, you start first in this sprint race. And beyond that, the rules are the same for any sprint race, as is where you finish in the sprint is where you're going to start in the feature.
Absolutely, and just a recap for you, mate, and for everyone else that's watching the sprint race coming up for the Performance League. Simon Palmer will be starting off in first, then Sir Spud in second, then IRL in third. You got DXT Matty in fourth, Michael Lucht in fifth, Daryl is in sixth, Sunboy in seventh, Melanade is in eighth, Joe Amster is in ninth, Tal is in 10th, Speed Queen is in 11th, FRO Stephen in 12th, Rustman in 13th, Smoke in 14th, Saab in 15th, Jitter Tiger in 16th, Tinus 17th, and between 18th and 20th, if anyone joins in late, did not turn up last week, they'll start at those positions. But that's the start of the sprint race of those positions tonight, Tim.
So Simon Palmer, unfortunate luck in Bahrain, but with an opportunity to turn it around here in Austria, giving these teams an opportunity to set their setups while they can, and then we will officially be lined up on the grid and ready to start our sprint race. Now, Austria, one of the shortest tracks, if not the shortest track, on the F1 calendar. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, Malc. So the sprint race and feature race will likely be over with fairly quickly.
Yeah, you don't realise that this is only like 12 laps, so this is like a third, you would say, a third of the normal 50% race. So we'll be interested to see how these guys can try and do in the track itself. But yeah, hello to Spud, how you doing, mate? You alright? Good luck to you tonight. I know you're in second place, so let's see how you can try and do. Ghost, how you doing, mate? You alright? Reens, how you doing, mate? Hope you came well. So yeah, we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen so far. So, and I've been told, Tim, do you want some good news? Do you want some good news for the weather?
Dry?
Dry for the sprint. Dry for the sprint. Not sure about the feature until we get to that point, but it'll be a dry start at the Austrian Grand Prix. What a way to do it in round 2.
But Malc, you're the official meteorologist of Invictus Racing League. You're supposed to know the weather for the feature race.
I know, but it's very difficult at the minute. I wish I had the Mystic Malc to try and predict the future.
Mystic
Malc.
But
It doesn't know. Eminem?
I'm going to call you that from now on. You are now Mystic Malc. I like that.
Thank you very much, mate. And it looks like we're about to kick off. And good luck to everyone. We're about to start the sprint race. So, Tim, I'll let you do the honours quickly.
And an honor it is each and every week, Malc. 12 laps in this sprint race. will be over with fairly quickly. This is a short track course here in Austria. You hear those engines revving, you hear those itchy pedal feet, the drivers watching the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air and no red lights. We are green for the sprint race here in Austria. Simon Palmer serves Spud 1 and 2 into turn number 1. Who's coming out on top? It's going to be Simon Palmer, serves Spud in second place, and that's a Haas going wide, and a Red Bull follows suit. That is ARL and perhaps Melonade, respectively. Looks like we got two Red Bulls battling, and now that is Steven and Melonade as they race down to turn number 3. And that is a very tight hairpin there. We got some cars going very wide. A lot of dust being stirred up there. Simon Palmer still leads over Sir Spud and Daryl Whiffen in P3.
Yeah, they're doing very well at the minute. I'm just watching those Steven at the minute under a lot of pressure from Rustman in 9th and 10th place, respectively. So we have to wait and see how everything goes. But remember, the tyres will be absolutely gone within a matter of time. But looks like Speed Queen's getting close. She's gone around the outside. But Michael got himself back into 6th place. Speed Queen with the soft car, the only one that's gambled on the softs. She will try and make the move done, but she could not do it at turns 6 to 7, Tim.
Yeah, Speed Queen really needing a good result here. She's likely very disappointed after losing out on last season's championship, and obviously has not found the podium yet in the one race that we ran in Invictus Racing League this season. But all the same, Speed Queen 80, a decent showing so far in P7 here, but definitely going to be looking for a little bit more. And track position can be very important here at Austria, but she is under a lot of pressure from Melonade as they go into turn number 3, but she keeps her position there as she is putting pressure herself on the Alpine of Michael Luke. But now there goes Melonade around Speed Queen 80 and clears Speed Queen 80.
Yeah, it's just trying to make the move as quickly as possible. But while he was watching that, I was watching the back of the grid. Those are the Pine Traps made the move onto Tinners. They go side by side, 2 in a bed moment there, but could not do anything about it at the minute. But still battling out. Looks like Rustman's trying to get close to the gap onto Speed Queen in 8th place. Oh! A spinner! So Spud has spun. So Spud has spun at turns 7 to 8, Tim.
And Sir Spud trying to rejoin the track here, and he needs to hurry up and do so. Unfortunately for Sir Spud, it looks like he's going to have a lot of catch-up to do in the feature race. We're coming to lap 3 now. Simon Palmer and then Daryl Whiffen. Now Melonade running the fastest lap, then Rustman. No one can decide who wants the fastest lap, but it looks like it's Rustman at the moment here in this Alpine car as he gives chase to Speed Queen 80 in the 7th position. And look at that, we have got a little bit of a battle up front as ARL is making a move past Daryl Whiffen, gets into P2 in that Haas. Daryl Whiffen trying to fall back in line and find a way around the Haas, and will he be able to do so? It could be a side-by-side battle into this corner, but Daryl Whiffen cannot get alongside the Haas. It is Simon Palmer, ARL, Daryl Whiffen, your top 3.
Good battle on the top 3. Just keep watching from Daryl's point of view. He was within 2/10, but now it's dropped down a little bit. I try and put under a lot of pressure, but ARL's not messed about at all. But still, there's been a few drivers who had to do a unfortunate pits during the sprint itself. With Spud, with Smoke and some boy, I believe, that pitted as well, Tim.
Yeah, and Smoke way back there in P16, so he's going to have a tall ladder to climb in the feature race as well. ARL now setting the fastest lap of 107.549, and he is getting very close to Simon Palmer, but right now we're watching a 3-car battle for the 4th position between Joe Hamster, Michael Luke, and Melonade, respectively. But it is pretty much a bit of a train, and there goes Michael Luke around Joe Hamster, and ARL is just taking the lead in the same corner. ARL into P1. Simon Palmer trying to fight back and get back into first place. He goes next to the Haas. Will he be able to get the overtake done? It's going to be a side-by-side battle. Simon Palmer on the outside in the Aston Martin. He uses the momentum to carry him ahead.
Oh, that looks like that was a good move. It looks like Melonade just dropped himself down a few positions, lost out a few, to be fair. It looks like Joe Hamster's holding on for dear life. I do apologise from last week. Every time when I say his name, something must have happened in the next lap or two. So hopefully that's not going to compromise with the commentator's curse itself. But at the moment, he's doing really well at the minute in 4th, with Michael Luke getting close to 4th, Tim.
Yeah, Michael really closing in on Joe Hamster. One thing about Michael is last season you would see him have very amazing results in qualifying. He would get the pole or top 3, top 5, and you would think that he would be a shoo-in to do very well in the race, and for whatever reason, it seemed as though he struggled to put a race together. Now, this season, there is no qualifying. He can't be a Saturday warrior as you see him go by Joe Hamster. The only thing he can do is race twice. So, if Michael Luke has ever had an opportunity to practice racecraft, now is the time, and looking good so far as he gets around Joe Hamster into turn number 3. Now he gives chase to Daryl Whiffen. We might have a 5-car battle for the lead here in just a moment as the cars are starting to form a nice little line behind Simon Palmer.
Oh, this is what we love about Invictus Racing League, Tim. This is what we love about it. There's so much close battles galore. You never know what's going to happen next. And it looks like IRL is going to be right close to Simon Palmer again. And Daryl Whiffen is really not messed about at all. They want to try and get this move done as soon as possible. But Joe Hamster and Michael are having a great battle. Actually, everyone else from first all the way down to 11th, they're all under a second each. They're all under a second each. Some madness stuff, to be fair, and they're coming to the halfway marker now. ARL will have to use that slipstream now. And I tell you what, Daryl, 2 in the bed. We got a 2 in the bed moment now. They're going in past into turn 2, into turn 3. Oh, come on! Come on, you want to make the move done? You got to do it now. And I tell you what, oh my God, that's close. That was close, but Daryl's got himself into second place, Tim.
5 cars battling it out here on board with Joe Hamster, and you see the side-by-side battle with ARL and Daryl Whiffen. Meanwhile, Simon Palmer is able to lead this group, and Joe Hamster almost gets into the back of the Haas, and then he goes a little bit wide. That opens the door up for Michael Luke, and also Speed Queen 80 joining this party here. Back to the top 3, and we're going to have Daryl Whiffen and ARL still battling it out almost side-by-side. This is the best thing for Simon Palmer. Gives him an opportunity to sneak away from this group, but they're not going to let him out of their sights. They fall back in a single file line. 4 cars up there. Michael Luke, the tail end of this line, and Speed Queen 80 trying to join the field. Simon Palmer will lead yet another lap with ARL and Daryl Whiffen, your top 3. It's starting to calm down a little bit, but Malc, I can only feel as though this is the calm before the storm as you see Michael Luke actually getting closer to Daryl Whiffen. Thought about making a move into turn 1, but was too far back.
Yeah, it wasn't making the move too much there, but while that's going on, Joe Hamster's going to have a chance to make the move on Speed Queen. Side at turn 3! Oh! Contact! There's contact at turn 3! There's contact at turn 3! There's like ARL's dropped down. Rustman and Menonade dropped down. Party Trap moves himself up to 8th place. Mad scenes. And I'll tell you what. Oh, Joe! Go on, my son! Go on! Brilliant! Brilliant move there from Joe. Absolutely unbelievable. And also Speed Queen is not messing about at all. Brilliant drive from Joe and Speed Queen.
And that is 2 overtakes that Speed Queen 80 has been able to make at that same part of the racetrack, just capitalizing on another driver's mistake. So sometimes that's the way to the front, is just simply waiting for your competitors to make a mistake and then capitalizing it when the opportunity presents itself. But as you said, ARL dropping far back. What happened there is out of turn number 3, it looked as though he just lost the rear, slid a little bit, got loose, and lost a lot of ground down that straightaway. So Simon Palmer, Daryl Whiffen, Michael Luke is now your top 3 with Joe Hamster, Speed Queen 80 your top 5, and we got a battle for the lead. And now Rustman and Party Trevor out.
I'm not sure what happened there. Well, I'm just on to this car. 2 cars have hit the wall. 2 cars have hit the wall. There's been a crash, and we will have the safety car, I believe. Yes, we have. We've got the safety car, Tim.
And this changes a lot of things, Malc.
Absolutely. I mean, it was close without the safety car. Now, we're bringing everything back up to square one now. So, these guys will have to try and... I mean, I don't know what you would do at this stage, to be honest. Whether they would just keep the tyres as they are now. Personally, I think they could keep them, but just depends on who would gamble on the well, Sunboy and Spud. They've gambled for the soft, so I don't blame them because they will have to catch up to the safety car itself. So no one has pitted, unless I'm mistaken. No one has pitted. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. Melonade and Saab, they're both pitted. They have both pitted, and I believe they'll go for the softs to the end of the race, Tim.
So a couple of drivers seeing if a pit stop's going to work in this sprint race. Of course, you know, these drivers, they haven't really had the opportunity to deal with pit stops during these sprint races yet because they're so new, so this is a nice way to initiate them. But obviously, as you see, everyone had a plan and they decided that a pit stop is not going to happen for them. And I'm not surprised, Mac, because like you said, you felt like they could stay on these tires, and I completely agree. Obviously, the mediums are going to have plenty of life left in them, and the softs shouldn't be too bad as well, especially with Speed Queen 80 having the reputation that she does of being able to conserve her tires for when they really matter.
Absolutely, and like I said, I always say, in fair play to Speed Queen, she does the tyre management absolutely spot on, to be fair, so I'm not surprised that she hasn't pitted. But the reason why I was a bit unsure, because I was hoping that some of the drivers would have gambled to go on the softs, but because I think it's because it was so late in the race itself. Like, we've got about 4 laps remaining. I think that they didn't want to risk that position at this stage, Tim.
Yeah, and that is another thing. If this safety car had happened at about lap 5 or lap 6, then we might have seen a few more drivers gamble. But one thing I will say is that while Speed Queen 80 has certainly made up some position during the race, she hasn't made up a lot of positions, you know, maybe not as much as you would expect being on the soft tire. So one thing I have noticed with F1 2022 in general is that it seems as though the soft tires don't give you as much of a benefit as you would expect, at least not in my opinion. It just seems as though drivers who go onto a fresh set of softs seem to struggle to really, you know, gain a lot of an advantage.
Yeah, the management as well with the tyre wears itself, and the guys are going to have to be at the very, very best, but you never know what's going to happen in next. I would not be surprised in the pit. Well, I would say I would not be surprised. The safety car will come in on this lap because they will have 2 laps, Tim. 2 laps of pure racing, and this is what we love about it, because remember, top 8. Safety cars in this lap. Top 8 will guarantee to have points. They will guarantee to have points, Tim.
So taking a look at the chat, and Keza, he is asking, is it the top 10 to get flipped, or is it the top 8? Well, nobody actually is going to get flipped, so to speak, for the feature race. However these drivers finish in the sprint race is how they're going to line up in the feature race. The lineup for the sprint race next week will be determined by a reverse grid order of the finishing order for the feature.
I was going to say, thanks for that, Tim. Absolutely legend. Here we go. We're about to kick off now. Dowell has not messed about. He's had a great start. Oh, lost the back end a little bit there, Tim. He was absolutely loving it at the minute. And we will have 2 more laps, Tim. 2 more laps of frantic racing. And Smoke has spun. Smoke has spun at turn 9. Not good enough. Not good enough at the minute. Joe Amston's putting the pressure on Michael for third. Simon Palmer defending for his life in second. But at the moment, Tim, this is what we love about the battles at Austria.
Yeah, and Daryl Whiffen, you said that he got a good start. If he can get that kind of a start off the line when the feature race starts, then look out for that Mercedes, because it's looking like this sprint race anyway is going to be his race to lose. Simon Palmer, though, is closing in on that Mercedes, so we'll see if Simon Palmer's going to have anything for him in the last lap. But currently watching the battle for third between Michael Luke and Joe Hamster. Joe Hamster having a good showing here today so far, and ARL just behind the Alfa Romeo, trying to make up a lot of positions lost from a mistake out of turn 3 just a few laps ago. Coming out of the final corner is Daryl Whiffen, and we will start our final lap now. Daryl Whiffen, Simon Palmer, Michael Luke, your top 3. And are we going to have a move down the front straightaway? No, we will not. Michael Luke stays in third.
Here we go. Come on, Michael. If you want to make the move down to second, you've got to do it now. Simon's trying to save his ERS. Michael's not missed about turn 2 and makes a move into turn 3. But Simon Palmer will not give up this position. Oh my God, we could have a 3 to bed. Come on! We want the 3 to bed moment. Michael tried to go side by side with Joe. Joe's making the move onto third, but Simon Palmer trying to keep on the inside line. Oh, just about. Go on, Joe. You want third? You've got to hold on for dear life. And I tell you what, at the moment, I don't want to say any more, Tim. He's got third at the minute.
And Michael Luke P2, Joe Hamster P3, Simon Palmer in a side-by-side battle with ARL there for a moment for P4. ARL going to try to make a move on the inside of the Aston Martin. Is not going to be able to get the job done. Meanwhile, it is going to be Daryl Whiffen taking the checkered flag. Then Michael Luke in P2 and Joe Hamster in P3.
What a drive. What an unbelievable drive. So, yeah, Daryl first, Michael second. Joe third, Simon Palmer fourth, IRL fifth, Speed Queen sixth, L. Stevens seventh, Jim Tug eighth, Dillon 9, Saab in 10th, Melanade 11th, Sunboy 12th, Spud 13, Tadelli 14, JP 15th I think it was. But I'll let you do the race classification for the sprint, Tim.
It is the official sprint race finishing order and your official starting lineup for the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League, Austrian Grand Prix. Daryl Whiffen in first, Michael Luke in second, Joe Hamster in third, Simon Palmer in fourth, fifth is ARL, Speed Queen 80 in sixth, O. Steven in seventh, Ginger Tiger in eighth, ninth is Tennis Sab in 10th, then 11th is Melanade, Sunboy in 12th, 13th is Surf Spud, Tadelli in 14th, 15th is JP, and Smoke in the 16th position with Russman in 17th, and Party Trev in the 18th position. 18 drivers going to be taking the green here in Austria.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how these guys can try. And, yeah, unbelievable solid sprint. Absolutely means. Hello to, well, Kessler says, can get confused at times with the sprint race and feature race regarding qualifying. Yeah, so now on, we have the sprint and feature race from now on based on the results from the previous week's feature race. Fatman Gaming, how you doing? Says, how's it all? We're both doing very well, thank you. Rain says that was fantastic time to remove the HUD for the battle for third, Tim, I believe. And Smoke is not happy at all. He's really not happy with the sprint race result. But before we carry on, guys, if you like what we've seen so far, please, please, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Invictus Racing League YouTube channel for all the live race itself. We are aiming for at least 10 likes tonight, guys. We're aiming for at least 10 likes tonight. Will be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators box, as well as the Invictus Racing League on this stream and also on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, guys. So, Tim, great sprint. Are we going to repeat that again for the feature race?
I think so, Malc, and you know what it's time for. It is time for our top 3 predictions.
Oh, you try to beat me to it, mate. You try to beat me to it. I'll get you back next time. Oh, that's tough.
In any order, I'm going to have to go with Michael.
Michael, okay.
Yeah, Michael, Daryl, and no. Michael, Simon Palmer, and ARL.
Oh, you're not picking Daryl at all in yours. You changed your mind last minute.
I did. I
That's
did.
Harsh.
He had a very strong restart there in the sprint race, but unless he can get a good start off of that line, he's going to be under a lot of pressure from those drivers behind. We saw how quick ARL is. He just made a mistake out of turn number 3. Otherwise, I think he would have been right up there challenging for that win.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with Daryl just because I'm changing, just to support him. I'm going to go with ARL as well, and I'm going to go with Simon Palmer as well, in any order. So I'm picking Daryl.
You're making me look like the bad guy over here.
Yeah, we're starting now, Tim. We're starting now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the air. No red lights. We are green for the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League Austrian Grand Prix. Daryl Whiffen gets a fantastic start, proving me wrong into turn number 1. Joe Hamster into P2, and Michael Luke down into P3. Simon Palmer and ARL 4th and 5th, falling into a nice single file line, but we got some jostling around back in the mid-pack range with Ginger Tiger, Melonade, and O'Steven. Look at that Red Bull trying to go around the Haas of Ginger Tiger side by side at a turn number 3, and the other Red Bull of O'Steven just behind him as well.
Sorry, Tim, to interrupt you there. There was some contact at the back at turn 3. I think believe it was the Ferrari Otadelli going to the back of one of the cars. I think that might be Russman's at the back. He lost control of it and got himself back on. But correct me if I'm wrong later on. But they'll have to be checked again later on in the stewards' part review. But there was some carnage at turn 3 near the back, Tim.
So already some drivers having some issues at just the first lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, but a driver who's not having any issues except trying to get by his competitor is ARL. Keeps having a look into a couple of corners, can't quite find his way around. Simon Palmer might have a look-see here, but will he have the opportunity to turn number 1? Simon Palmer throws a block. ARL crosses over, goes to the outside line. It's going to be side-by-side into 1. ARL with momentum. Simon Palmer on the inside. Who is it going to be? The Haas goes wide. Simon Palmer will win out on that little battle.
Yeah, but they're still not messed about. Looks like the Red Bull are behind against Ginger Tiger. Melonade, I think it was. ARL moves up to 4th into turn 3, and Ginger Tiger holding on for dear life. Melonade is going wide. The two Red Bulls have got some wings on them. They've got to do a 2 in a bed moment now. Steven does not do the move. He just backs off. Unbelievable stuff. He had the chance to make the move, Tim. He had the chance to make the move, and now Ginger Tiger is putting the pressure on Speed Queen for 6.
On board with O'Steven as he battles with his car-allocated teammate of Melonade in the Red Bull here today. So this is a nice single file line that likely will be turning into a bit of a DRS train when we get to it. DRS will be enabled next lap. Meanwhile, let's take a look at that battle between Speed Queen 80. She is leading this pack of cars, starting with the 6th position. So the top 5 have broken away, and then Speed Queen 80 leads about 6 down to approximately P10 or so.
Yeah, roughly about P10, Team. But here we go. They're coming up to turn 1 now. Melonade's getting close to Ginger Tiger. DRS choo-choo train. Who's going to do that next? Weren't you, Tim? So Melonade trying to put the pressure on, but fair play to Melonade. He nearly caught the back and lost out completely to O'Steven for 8th. And he will lose out a few positions, Tim. He will lose out to Saab. And possibly lose out to Russman. He has. Bad overshot moment, but he did try to avoid the back of the car. That's what he tried to do, Melonade. Tinnis and Pytrev are having a 2 in a bed moment side by side. Brilliant stuff, Tim.
McLaren versus Mercedes, and there goes Tinnis just ahead of Party Trev. Will he be able to clear him? Yes, he does. Tinnis hangs on to the 12th position, at least for the time being. So it looks like Party Trev is going to be able to attack once again and go side by side. Tinnis goes off the track just a little bit. Fantastic driving to hang on to that. Loses 2 positions to that. Now it's JP and Party Trev battling here down the front straightaway. And will JP be able to make the move on Party Trev on board with the Alfa Romeo? But it's not going to happen for him this time. They are stuck in that DRS train into turn 1. And it is still Party Trev ahead of JP as we go back now to the battle for 2nd, because Michael Luke is right on the back of Joe Hamster, the other Alfa Romeo in this field. And Michael Luke not able to make a move into 3 this time, but let's see when he is able to size Joe Hamster up and eventually get alongside him. Is it going to be now? Yes, it is. It's going to be a side-by-side battle, but Joe Hamster, he was not taking no for an answer. He just completely shut the door on Michael Luke, made him take evasive action, and he keeps the position.
While you was watching that, Tim, I was watching the battle between Speed Queen and O'Steven, and Saab! Oh no, contact, Tim, contact between Saab and Speed Queen, and I'll tell you what, Speed Queen and O'Steven were having a great battle, but there was contact between those two drivers, and then they would go side by side on to turn 6, and now Speed Queen and Saab have both had a bit of contact that will have to be checked by stewards afterwards, but not good for those two drivers at the moment. But Michael's getting close to 2nd, Tim.
So back to the battle for second place, and he does get the job done on Joe Hamster side by side, but will he be able to clear him out of this corner on board with Joe Hamster? And Joe Hamster fights back. It's going to be side by side. Could we have 3 wide with ARL joining the party? No, we won't. Joe Hamster clears Michael, so now Michael has to defend against ARL. It is a 3-car battle now for the second position, and you know what, Malc? Daryl Whiffen really is proving me wrong today. 1.5 seconds already ahead of the rest of the field.
Absolutely, but remember, it's only 5 laps in, Tim. You all do not mention anything anymore. If you want him to do well, do not say anymore. He's doing really well at the minute with 1.7 gap now. Hello to Ellie, how you doing? Are you okay and well? She says, evening lads, a bit late, did I miss anything? You've missed the sprint. You've missed the sprint race. We are doing the feature race now. So Daryl won the feature race. From the safety car, and then Joe Hamster got up to 3rd, I believe, as well. So, and you know, fantastic stuff as well. So, there's so many great battles going on in this race, in the feature race now. And Michael, no! Do not make a mistake. He has not made a mistake. ARL's trying to make the move. There's been a contact, but it might be ARL's moment now. The former champion goes up into 3rd place, and Simon Palmer just watching this battle. And ARL say, well, thank you very much, Michael. Yes. And Simon Palmer saying yes to Michael. Mad scenes, Sid.
Looking out the back of the Haas, you see Simon Palmer in the Aston Martin, and then Michael Luke back there in the Alpine, losing 2 spots into that corner. Definitely not the way that he wants his race to go, but we have just had a retirement of Tidelli, so it looks like we are now under the safety car.
Yeah, very strange, to be fair. Let's just check it. Oh, he crashed. He crashed at the pit entry, Tim. He crashed at the pit entry.
And a few drivers already making a pit stop. Daryl Whiffen, our leader, as is Joe Hamster. ARL stays out. But what tires does Daryl Whiffen go on here? He's going onto the hard compound tires. So they should have no issue lasting to the end of this race. It's lap 7 of 36. So the hard tires likely will be carrying Daryl Whiffen to the end. Unless, of course, there's a late race safety car. In which case, I see most drivers capitalizing on soft tires. But that will not be the case this time. ARL and Melanie decide to stay out, as does Party Trev and Smoke and Sir Spud as well. So those drivers finding a little bit of track position on Tidelli's mistake.
Absolutely, but I feel bad for some of the drivers, to be fair. They've lost out on good positions, to be fair. But remember, this is the 2nd safety car of the evening overall, but this is the actual first ever safety car of the feature race this evening. We had one, as I said earlier on, in the feature, but it's just interesting to see how these guys can try and put the pressure on. But I'm surprised. Well, to be fair, I'm not surprised with Party Trev, Smoke and Spud, both all on the hard tyres. I'm not surprised with that. I was surprised with ARL and Melanie not gambling onto the hards, but they might know something that what we don't know with the tyre wear situation. So. But yeah, the hards is the way forward. Melanie is going to the pits already. So he is going for the hard tyres now. ARL's the only one from the medium tyre to not pitted yet. So he'll be hoping for a really good restart, Tim.
So ARL, Party Trev, Smoke the top 3, Sir Spud and Daryl Whiffen your top 5, Joe Hamster, Simon Palmer, Michael Luke, Ginger Tiger, Steven. Your top 10 with Tennis Sunboy, Russman, Melanade, JP, Speak Queen 80, and Sab, last week's winner. The remainder of the field, of course, Tidelli, the only DNF so far after that unfortunate mistake on the pit entry lane. ARL will be the control car when the safety car pulls in. Wondering if this is going to be this lap or not. Hopefully so. I know that these drivers are anxious and really want to get back to racing.
Absolutely. And definitely the safety car should be going into this lap because everyone else is all bunched up, except for, I believe, Sunboy. Sunboy was a little bit off the pack a bit, but again, they're all bunched up now from for all the safety car itself. Yes, safety car will be in this lap, Tim. Well done, Tim. Well done. To be fair, so we're going to kick off exactly on lap 9 of 36. If you are watching the stream, good evening to you all. Please make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. Will be a massive help to myself and Tim if you can get us at least 10 likes tonight, guys. Be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators box, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel as well, and also on the stream as well. Thank you so much, guys, and we're about to kick off as soon as ARL is ready, Tim.
Riding on board with Party Trev, ARL will be the control car, gets to decide when we restart this race, as long as it is before the start-finish line. He's going to try to catch Party Trev sleeping, and he does. Look at that. Shades of Daryl Whiffen from the sprint race. ARL out to a very good lead on those medium tires. Party Trev and Smoke 2 and 3. Smoke right on the back of Party Trev into turn number 1. Will the Aston Martin be able to make up any ground into 3? Doesn't look like it as Party Trev gets a better jump. And now Daryl Whiffen into P4, and what's happened, Malc?
Spud spun. Spud has spun at turn 1. He has spun at turn 1. He's dropped himself all the way down to 17th place. Really unlucky for him because he had a great opportunity to go those hearts all the way to at least 2/3 of the way to get himself on the mediums, Tim.
So meanwhile, Daryl Whiffen in P4, Joe Hamster fighting with him back there in the 5th position. He's also got Simon Palmer following behind him. Smoke and Party Trev just can't quite seem to catch ARL. And one thing I'm noticing with this racetrack, Malc, is it seems as though it benefits clean air. You saw how Daryl Whiffen was able to get out to such a great lead with a great restart in the sprint race, and ARL doing much of the same. And now that Haas car has got clean air ahead of him, he can just sail away. Call him a Styx fan, why don't you?
Ooh, classy. Classy, to be fair, mate. Classy. ARL fastest lap on the race with a 108.541 at the moment. Tinnis is trying to get close, but cannot do any further. Oh, Stephen getting close to the Tiger. Go to turn 1 now, trying to push the pedal to the metal now. The DRS will not be active just yet. The trying to use all their ERS as much as possible, Tim, but they can't do anything about it at the minute until they get that DRS. And it looks like Simon Palmer's really struggling to get out of turn 3. Michael, come on, Michael, if you want to make the move, don't you go do it quickly. But he's, well, not struggling, but they are within a few tenths of each other, Tim.
Yeah, Michael, it looked very good in the sprint race.
Sorry, Tim. Sorry to interrupt you there. Melonade went to the back of one of the cars. I believe that might be Russman or somebody, correct me if I'm wrong. One of the drivers. So Melonade has lost a bit of his front wing on the right side, Tim.
So Melonade not having a good showing so far. Michael Luke still not able to get by Simon Palmer. Waiting for the DRS to be enabled. Maybe we'll start seeing a few more overtakes, but there's just a lot of cars in a line here, and there is the DRS. That is exactly what these drivers have been waiting to see. ARL 2.3 seconds ahead of Party Trev, but the DRS can benefit Smoke and Daryl Whiffen and Joe Hamster as well. And of course, Simon Palmer and Michael Luke. We might see Michael Luke make a move on Simon Palmer into turn number 3. He is very close off of turn number 1 as they go through turn 2, and let's see if Michael Luke is going to be able to do anything on that Aston Martin. No, he won't, but does he get a good exit? No, he does not. Simon Palmer, a lot better traction out of the corner.
Absolutely. It looks like Spud is really having a torrid time at the minute. He's losing now a lot. He could get lapped into from turn 6 into turn 7. His back end is probably messed up now, so he really needs to step up again. He's hoping to get another safety car as quickly as possible. A couple of battles going at the minute. Smoke and Darryl for 3rd and 4th. Ginger Tiger for 8th against Stephen in 9th. That's the only 2 battles that are really close to each other, Tim.
Yeah, our defending champion of Smoke under an enormous amount of pressure from Daryl Whiffen. Likely one of the fastest cars here today is Daryl Whiffen. After winning the sprint race, myself thinking, you know, he just got a good restart. We'll see how he does in the race. Well, he is so far done very well in the race. Of course, he lost some positions due to a pit stop, but those fresh, hard tires are seeing him move his way slowly but surely back to the front. And will he be able to get by the Aston Martin this time? No, he won't, but he is right on the gearbox of Smoke. The problem is, though, is he's got Joe Hamster putting pressure on him as well. He needs to get the move done so that he can start working on Party Trev before Party Trev gets ahead of Smoke out of the DRS range. And now we got Sunboy retired, and is that a second safety car? Yes, it is.
Is Spud really lucky, to be fair, to get that safety car? He needs that. He's very lucky. Very, very lucky. Because ARL can see Spud. was getting close. So Spud's very lucky, to be fair. So I will not be surprised if he goes for try and get past the safety car and try and get redeem himself as well. But IRL's pitted, Tim. IRL has pitted.
So he had a little bit of a cushion, but overall definitely not a free pit stop for the Haas driver. So expecting him to go on the hard tires and make them last until the end here. We'll see what he does. And yes, it is hard tires onto the Haas car. Will he rejoin in the points? No, he will. In the top 10, rather. No, he won't. In fact, it's going to be pretty far back. He does beat Party Trev out of the pits, though, who followed him in. So ARL P13, Party Trev, and P14, then Melonade and Sir Spud. That's the back of the field. So Smoke has now inherited the lead with Daryl Wolfen and Joe Hamster, your top three.
Yeah, so interesting topics now, Tim. Interesting topics. Chat Reed says ARL saved up his mediums during that. Opened up the option to try and extend his stint and pick this up. Yeah, that would have happened before the safety car happened. Oof could have stayed out. Now he's on equal tires with almost everyone ahead of him. Do you think he made the wrong decision? Or do you think he made the right decision, Tim?
Honestly, that's a bit of a tough call for me, honestly. It's starting to look like this is a race to where we can bank on safety cars. So I don't think that ARL is really going to, be in jeopardy of finishing outside of the top 10 simply because even if some cars do get out ahead, we're going to see more safety cars. So I can't say if that's the right decision, but we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I didn't mean to put you under a lot of pressure there, Tim, at all. I did not mean to do that.
Well, you're also asking the wrong person when it comes to strategy around Austria. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. There's a reason I'm commentating and am not one of these drivers' race engineers. In fact, when I was racing in another league about a year ago, one of these drivers was my race engineer because I couldn't do the strategy myself.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It was worth a try, Tim. It was worth a try to see what you would have done in that. Would you have done the same as ARL? That was a bit of a better question to ask as well. Would you have been the same as ARL to pit? Or do you think he should have kept going with those medium tyres?
I do think that I would have done the same simply because my thinking is it's still a long race and you've got to make these tires last to the end. The hard tires, obviously, they are going to be lasting to the end. I know he had a lot of life left on the medium tires, but it just seems, to me, for some reason, I feel like benefiting the tires that are going to get you to the end is more important, especially when you take into consideration that sweet spot that you find with the hard tires when they really get some heat into it.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we'll see how much it benefits everyone else, not just for AOL, but for everyone else as well. We're on lap 14 of 36, Tim, and we already had two safety cars already, with Tavelli and Sunboyle, the both drivers out of the evening due to their crashes. I believe Tavelli's was on turn 9 and also Sunboyle at turn 3. So Spud is very lucky to get himself back into this race because he was completely lost it when he got spun out a few times, to be fair. So he's very lucky, to be fair. But like I said, there'll be no rain at all throughout the remainder of this race, Tim. So we're going to have a dry throughout the remainder. But also, guys, if you like what you see so far, if you just joined in, good evening to you all. Hope you're having a fantastic day on the 1st of September 2022 on a Thursday evening as well. So fantastic stuff. And also, please, if you can, make sure you like, subscribe to the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. It will be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators. I know we've just hit 10 likes. Thank you so much. But if we could get a bit more, be a massive help also. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So Tim, do you think there'll be a few more shocks along the way?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see another safety car or two, but as far as shocks go, I think that most of the racing so far has been pretty entertaining, so really anything's going to happen. You got Daryl Whiffen there in P2, who's going to be breathing down Smoke's neck on this restart. You saw the kind of restart that the Mercedes got in the sprint race, and Smoke on those old hard compound tires will sooner rather than later start to struggle. So, and not to forget, Darrell Whiffen in the Mercedes is a better car than the Aston Martin. This is the Realistic Performance League, and as the name suggests, these cars mirror the real-life performance as best as possible. So Darrell Whiffen in a little bit of a better car than our defending champion of Smoke, but let's see which driver is going to be able to wheel their machine the best on this restart. Smoke is the control car. He gets to decide when we restart as long as it's before the start-finish line. On board with Darrell Whiffen, and Smoke playing a little bit of games here.
Yeah, and he's not playing about now. He's going for it. Smoke's going for it now. Will the gap be any different? Oh, Smoke's trying to get rid of that slipstream from Darrell and Joe Amster. They really are trying to get close to Smoke, who's already used 6 laps more than what Darrell and Joe Amster are doing, as well as the rest of the crew itself. So they're coming up to turn 2 to turn 3 now. No action at the moment. No overtakes galore, Tim.
So Smoke is only half a second ahead, not the restart that he needed. He needed to clear that DRS range, because here in a few laps, DRS will be activated, and then he will be a setting duck. At the moment, his tires should be okay, but after a while, of course, they will start to wear down while every driver behind him has fresher tires. He is the driver with the oldest tires in this field, so Smoke, even though he's got track position for now, is not setting pretty by any means at the moment.
No, absolutely not. Everyone's, not only him, but it's everyone else that'll be under a lot of pressure, because they need to maintain this. They need to keep it composed and try and save that ERS as much as possible, and trying to avoid the penalties, which, you know, I think we have seen a few penalties, but they must have done it in the pit stops. But at the moment, as you can see, no penalties at this stage. Michael's getting close to Simon Palmer. No DRS yet. No DRS. They both used the ERS for a bit. And now Michael. Ooh, I thought he was going to try and make the move there into turn 3. But Spud is really having a torrid time at the minute, Tim. He's really struggling with that Ferrari car, and right at the back in 16th place, Tim.
He's actually in jeopardy of getting lapped here in a handful of laps if he doesn't pick up the pace. Not quite in the same sector as the leaders yet, but if you look over at the mini-map, you'll see that Sir Spud is just now approaching the final corner, while Smoke is approaching the final sector. So Sir Spud, he's still got some breathing room, but if he does not find some pace, then toward the end of this race, he might start seeing the leaders in his mirror.
Well, yeah, absolutely. He can't afford to, he's been making mistakes in turns 3 and 6 and 7 from what I've seen. DRS is now active now. DRS is now active. So here we go, cameras, man. Now, but the problem is we've got the DRS. I told you. What did I say to you, Tim? Turn 3. We have got, correct me if I'm wrong, we've got the virtual safety car, Tim. We've got a virtual safety car. And I'm not sure exactly what happened, because Spud went off track at turn 3, and then all of a sudden, he just got himself back onto the racing line. So I don't know whether he had any front wing damage or what. I could not see anything from that side, Tim.
Well, we're taking a look at the Ferrari of Sir Spud now, and he has lost his entire front wing. So that's the problem. That's why we are under the VSC. Sir Spud has lost his entire front wing, and I think it's safe to say that he will be lapped here sooner rather than later, because he's going to have to pit and get that front wing changed, and that's assuming he does not retire the car outright, which might very well be the case at this point.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. With the Performance League, you guarantee points as long as you do not DNF. So he'll be hoping not to. It's going from bad to worse now for Sir Spud. He's already got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he'll be absolutely livid with Austria. He wants to get rid of it as quickly as possible. And now, so Michael Lutz has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under this virtual safety car, Tim.
So it took about 19 laps, but now the penalties are starting to rear their ugly head. Sir Spud and Michael Loop, the first two drivers to find themselves at the mercy of the virtual stewards here in Austria. Smoke, Darrell Whiffen, and Joe Hamster, your top 3 with Simon Palmer and Michael, your top 5.
Absolutely fantastic stuff now. Just trying to have a look at the battle. JP 911959 getting close to Speed Queen. the speed creep, using that medium to be effective to try and pull away as quickly as possible. But getting close to Rustman, but JP needs to try and do something because Polytrev is not having any luck at the moment. To be fair though, Tim, he's got the pace. Polytrev has got the pace, but it's the struggles of the race. That's what's struggling him at the moment in this season's Invictus, not just in the Performance League, but also in F3 as well. So Michael's getting close to Simon Palmer, Tim.
So as we look at Party Trev, and then we go back to Michael and Simon Palmer, the battle for fourth here. And Michael having a bit of a look-see on the outside, but there was not much of a hole there, so he has to fall back in line. Simon Palmer hangs on to the fourth position for now, but it looks like he's going to be under attack from Michael. Michael goes to the inside. Does he clear him? Yes, he does into turn number 3, but will Simon Palmer be able to fight back? No, he does not. Right on the gearbox of the Alpine.
Oh.
Michael Luke moves into fourth place, but now Simon Palmer trying to get the position back. Will he be able to do so? Yes, he does. Does Ginger Tiger follow through as well? No, it's side by side between the Alpine and the Aston Martin. Looks like the Alpine's going to win out this time. Almost some contact, but they keep it clean. My goodness, this is some close racing in the Invictus Racing League's PlayStation Performance League. Brought to you by GridFinder.com. Lap 20 of 36. The laps are winding down, but the action is heating up.
It's definitely heating up, especially if you're in the top 3, because Smoke, Daryl and Joe Hamster are really kicking in. Smoke's trying to hold on for dear life. Daryl, who I voted for him to try and hold on. Smoke's getting fuming with Daryl to try and get rid of that slipstream. Michael's disqualified. Michael has disqualified Tim. He has forgot to do the drive-through penalty. And Sab's out. Sab is out of the race. I'm just trying to look at it
and
from
it is
point
a
of view.
third safety car, Malc. A third safety car in this race on lap 21, right after Michael Luke is retired. Well, not just retired, but disqualified, unfortunately. So, my goodness, this is one of the crazier races that I think that we have had in the Invictus Racing League, and definitely the craziest race that we've had this season, but ignore the fact that it's only the second race.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I cannot believe we've had 3 safety cars. 4 if you included the sprint race, but obviously this is the feature, we'll count it as 3. 3 races. 3 races. 3 safety cars. I do apologise. 3 races? We haven't done 3 races yet. We've done 2 races. 3 safety cars this evening, which is a bit of unfortunate moments. But Sab, who won last week in both the sprint and the feature.
And Smoke spun! Smoke is spun! And now he has lost his front wing. He spun going through the penultimate corner. He's lost his front wing, pulling into the pits. Just completely lost the car on his own.
I do apologise, Tim. I did not expect that at all from Smoke. So it's going from Smoke, and it must have been burnt down completely. Spud says back wing broke. That's what happened to him earlier on. Gel says, should I come back to fight Smoke again? And then he just put it, never mind, he did it himself. That's what happened from Gel's point of view. So that's what's going to happen now. So we might have the safety car for the third time of asking. We've got all these drivers trying to do their pits for the fresh tyres. Tim.
Inrin says, in just one lap, Chaos has unleashed. I didn't think that Chaos had ever ended since lap 1.
I don't think so at all, Tim. I did not think that at all. But yeah, it's been a mad race to be fair. So many battles galore, and also so many. There's some questionable overtakes, shall we say? Just questionable overtakes on some instances. But at the same time, it's been one hell of a race, and I was surprised. I'm more gobsmacked is Smoke lost that car completely, Tim.
Yeah, and we've seen that Smoke has struggled here today, but that safety car coming out when it did, it was going to give him an opportunity to not lose as much ground as he was going to when he inevitably was going to make his pit stop. And I guess if he's going to make a mistake, might as well make it under the safety car, because, yet again, he still did not lose as much ground as he would have if that had been under green. But even still, it just seems as though he had a good opportunity to find some track position, and for whatever reason just lost the car and wasn't able to capitalize. Not sure why he's struggling so much around Austria.
Me either. I thought he was going to try and produce some good results at this stage, because if I remember it right, if you look at the table at the moment before tonight, well, he was second in the driver standings, so this is, whatever happens tonight, he needs to get a good result, because if O'Steven Russman, well, Russman's just gone ahead, like just ahead of Smoke, but O'Steven's also in 7th place, so he could have a chance to close the gap onto Smoke. So, and also Speed Queen as well. So they're really close to each other. So it could be anyone's game, Tim. It could be anyone's game to get some decent points, but we're near the 2/3 of the way of already done with this race.
Yeah, lap 23 of 36 here, so just a handful of laps to go. Daryl Whiffen, Joe Hamster, Simon Palmer, your top three. When we go back green, it's going to be Daryl Whiffen. That's going to be the control car. But looks like we're going to be staying under the safety car for at least one more lap.
Yeah, one more lap. But Melonade, we have to watch out for Melonade, because and also Smoke with those fresh medium tyres as well as Speed Queen as well. So Reen says, I do agree with Malc, anyone can get the win here. Absolutely. It's anyone's game. It's anyone's game at this stage, because we just do not know what's going to happen next, because it's so close. So much battles galore. We are absolutely loving this at Invictus Racing League. Absolutely loving this. And if you are, make sure you like, subscribe. We'll have to wait and see how everything goes. Sab says it's always nice to be taken out of a race. I did not know what happened from yourself, Sab. So if you've been told, well, we'll say been told. Sorry, that's not the right word to say. If you've been taken out, we'll take that to the stewards, and they'll get that sorted for you, mate. But unfortunate for you, mate. Well, hopefully you'll be back next week in the Spanish Grand Prix. So. Safety cars in this lap, Tim.
And Daryl Whiffen will be the control car. Joe Hamster P2, Simon Palmer P3, Ginger Tiger Tennis, your top 5 with Party Trev, O'Steven, ARL, Melonade, and Russman, your top 10, and then Smoke, Speak Queen, JP, and Sir Spud, the rest of the field. 4 DNFs so far after 24 laps of 36, about to go back green. Is it going to be the last safety car? Well, history says no, but we'll wait and see. A lot of safety cars in this race so far, 3 and counting, but eventually the race will have to come to an end, and whether that's going to be who wins or who survives, let's wait and see. Joe Hamster getting a good start, sticking with Daryl Whiffen, so Daryl Whiffen not able to use the tricks that he found in the sprint race, and Joe Hamster might even be able to make an overtake on Daryl Whiffen into one, but could not get close enough. He had a look, had to back out of it. Into turn 3, will he have his opportunity? Maybe Joe Hamster has got a better straight line setup in that Alfa Romeo than Daryl Whiffen does in his Mercedes. Only time will tell, but if Joe Hamster can't get by him, he just has to stick with him and wait for the DRS. I think that we might have found Daryl's match.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, Joe. You've got to make the move done. I am rooting for you, mate. Come on. You want to make this move done? You got to put the pressure on Daryl for first. While that's going on, Poitrev's getting close to Tinnis. Russman getting ahead of ARL. Russman getting ahead of ARL in 9th and 10th place. Poitrev under putting the pressure on Tinnis for 5th place, Tim.
Still watching the battle for the lead, though, turning into a 3-car battle. Simon Palmer getting a little bit closer to Joe Hamster, but Daryl Whiffen also pulling out ahead of the Alfa Romeo a little bit. Ginger Tiger trying to close in on Simon Palmer. He's riding back there in 4th place, but Simon Palmer is sailing away from him. However, Tennis and Party Trev, as you mentioned, Malc, is getting closer to that Haas car, so that's a 3-car gaggle back there. And lap 26 of 36 now, still no DRS, and that is much to the disappointment of these drivers. Ginger Tiger is going to be able to hang on to the 4th position through turn 1 down the straightaway. He's got the slipstream off of Simon Palmer.
O'Steven's spun. O'Steven has lost it at turn 1. So he's dropped himself all the way down to 12th, Tim. He has dropped himself down all the way down to 12th.
And Ginger Tiger gets into the back of Simon Palmer. Simon Palmer spins, hangs on to it. He loses a position. Does he lose 2? No, he doesn't. So Simon Palmer goes from P3 to P4, and Ginger Tiger, he actually gave the position back.
Fair play to Ginger Tiger. But I tell you what, all right. Russman! Russman making the move on to Melonade in 7th place. Come on! He makes the move! He makes the move perfect! But Melonade's trying to hold on. Oh no, brilliant stuff. But also, look at Polytrev. Polytrev's trying to make the move on to Tinnis. Oh my god, we've from Ginger Tiger all... Sorry, from... Oh, dude, I'm speechless, Tim. I do not know what to say anymore now, because we don't know what to see. What to say anymore, because Polytrev's getting close to Tinnis. And the two drivers are pulling away. No man's business. Simon Palmer holds on for dear life for 3rd. What a race so far, Tim.
And DRS is now enabled. They will have the DRS into turn number 3. Tennis might have an opportunity to get by Ginger Tiger for the 4th position, but Ginger Tiger might also have an opportunity to get closer to Simon Palmer. There goes the McLaren of Tennis alongside the Haas side by side through turn number 3. Who's it going to be that wins out on this little battle? The McLaren on the outside with the moment. Oh my goodness, and Ginger Tiger gets spun.
Contact, it looks like Polytrev has caught the back of Ginger Tiger when they would go side by side at turn 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, that will have to be checked afterwards, but from my view, it looked like Polytrev just caught the back of Ginger Tiger's car, and unfortunately for Ginger Tiger, he's dropped himself down to 12th, Tim.
Yeah, and I just watched it back on stream out. That's exactly what happened. It just looked as though Polytrev made some contact with the right rear of Ginger Tiger's car, spun him around and into the wall. So unfortunately for Ginger Tiger, that's going to bring his race not to an end, but not as good as it was going on lap 28 now of 36. Let's go back to the battle for the lead. Joe Hamster getting very close to Daryl Whiffen. Might have an opportunity into turn number 3 here. We ride on board with the Alfa Romeo. Let's see how much he's able to gain down this straightaway. Remember that Daryl Whiffen does not have any DRS. Joe Hamster has got it all, and he goes around Daryl Whiffen, but is he going to get the job done? Yes, he does, and he clears him by the time he gets to the corner. Joe Hamster moves into first place, but now Daryl Whiffen trying to fight back. Joe Hamster shuts the door on him, and Daryl is going to have to find a way back around him.
Sorry, Tim. Simon Palmer has gone off track. He's gone off track. I think there was contact between Tinnis and some of the other cars side by side, so that will have to be checked again by stewards. But mad scenes, to be fair. Mad last few laps, to be fair. And now Tinnis is holding on for 3rd, putting the pressure on Russman in 4th, Melonade in 5th. This is really heated up now. Can Joe hold on? Can Joe hold on to get his win on the Performance League, Tim? That'll be a monumentous achievement for him. Absolutely monumentous achievement. If he can hold on, obviously. If he can try and hold on. Russman, under a lot of pressure from Melonade on that Red Bull car. He's definitely got some wings. As you can see, Russman's trying to save his ERS down the straight, as well as Tinnis as well. So those two drivers are trying to save ERS. They're going to push on now, Melonade. He's going side by side, going to go, oh, 2 in the bed, moment, Red Bull, has he got 2 for 1? Or will he try and get the move on to Russman? He's got the move on to Russman, he's got another chance, with the slipstream, 2 in the bed, still going 2 in the bed, moment now. Melonade holding on for dear life. Tinnis will be a city duck if Melonade makes the move on the inside. But no! They can't do anything about it. Melonade's trying to hold on the inside line. They're still going side by side, Tim. What a race! Brilliant! Brilliant! Go on! Go on! You've got to make the move done! Russman! Legend! You are holding on for dear life against Melonade. What a race, Tim.
Very good move there by Russman to get by the Red Bull. And, you know, if we just take a look at this group of cars here, Malc, if we can just commend every one of them, Tinnis making up 6 positions, Russman making up 13 positions, Melonade making up 6, Polytrev making up 12, and then Smoke making up 9. All of these drivers in this little group here, they have been able to make up so many positions from the start of this race. You know, and even Tinnis up there, you know, like I mentioned, 6 positions gained by him. Neither of us pegged him for a podium. Look at that side-by-side battle as the Mercedes goes underneath the Red Bull and gets the job done. Polytrev into P5, but no one pegged Tinnis for a top 3 finish today, and it looks like it's at least a possibility as the Red Bull and Mercedes still battle it out side-by-side into this corner, and it's going to be the Mercedes winning out yet again. But look at Melonade doing a crossover move, and Melonade gets the job done.
Brilliant move there, but I'm watching the top 2. Darrell's getting close to Joe Hamster. I think Arrow dropped down to 8th. Looks like Simon Palmer drops down to 12th. Now JP 911959 is moved up to 11th place. at the moment, but Darrell needs to try and push on as much as possible. But let's see what he can try and do as well. Can Joe Hamster hold on for as well? To be fair though, these two are the teammates, so they don't need to worry about pushing each other. I think they're worried about is Tinnis getting really close now. 1.5 seconds to the gap between Darrell and Tinnis. So Darrell, if he can try and defend and let Joe have a chance, this is a great opportunity for these two drivers, Tim.
So potential 1-2 being picked up here by Joe Hamster and Darrell Whiffen. A little bit of a battle, though, there. You saw Darrell Whiffen having just a look on his teammate. Now, maybe you're wondering, what do you mean they're teammates? They're in an Alfa Romeo and Mercedes. Well, the way we allocate cars here in the Performance League is you might not be in the same car as your teammate. So, Darrell Whiffen, their team name is neither Fast nor Furious. They are in 4th place in the constructor standings, and they are pretty much making liars out of themselves today because it looks like they're both fast and furious here around Austria. Possible 1-2 coming their way. All the same, when it gets down to the final couple of laps, I would not be surprised if you're going to see Darrell Whiffen at least fight for the lead a little bit like you're seeing now. A bit of a look into turn 1, but obviously giving his teammate a break.
Absolutely, but look at this now. Tinnis has made Joe Hamster's gone, dropped down to 2nd. Darrell's moves over to 1st. Yellow flags at the 3. I think that might be O'Steven. O'Steven struggled through turns 6 and 7 at the minute. But these two are really switching. Looks like O'Steven's made another mistake at turn 8. And they've got to be careful because O'Steven nearly lost out to, I believe it was Simon Palmer as well as Speed Queen. Simon Palmer and Ginger Tiger. They're both banning out down the straights itself. But here we go. Tinnis is putting the pressure on Melonade in 4th. Russman in 3rd. And they're chasing the top 2 drivers at the moment in the Austrian Grand Prix team.
Yeah, and Russman slowly but surely flirting with that DRS range on Joe Hamster, so we might have a 3-car battle, dare we say even a 5-car battle for the lead here at the very end. Russman is slowly but surely making his way up there, and he's got the DRS. He should have the DRS, actually, going into turn number 3 if he can just stay close to them here.
He has. He's still got the DRS, and he's got another opportunity for the DRS to close the gap. But look at this, Joe Hamster is trying to hold on. He's got 4 more laps, correct me if I'm wrong, 4 more laps to go. He needs to hold on against the charging Russman. But also, you got Melonade, Tinnis, Partytrev, Smoke. They're all... You got top 7, Tim. Correct me if I'm wrong. Top 7 could have a chance of winning the Austrian Grand Prix, Tim.
Yeah, all these cars pretty much in a line, and if you notice, Mal, the top 2 on hard compound tires, then you got some mediums, save for Tinnis there on the hard compound tires as well. And obviously the hards are going to be a little bit slower than the mediums, but I'd say that the tire wear about this point is about even. You know, when you take into consideration that the hards last longer than the mediums, but it kind of makes me wonder, is Joe Hamster and Darrell Whiffen going to be holding Russman up when he gets there? Because Russman does seem like he has got an enormous amount of pace for 17 laps on those medium tires, but Melonade in the Red Bull, he's only got 12 laps on those medium tires, so he is charging and getting very close to Russman here in the closing stages as well.
Absolutely. I think that might be Spud, who's spun out at turn 8 again, with O'Steven also getting close as well. So here we go, Karen Russman. Russman can see them 2 ahead. But I've got to mention, sorry Tim, for Melonade, Tinnis and Poitras, they've all got 3-second time penalties. I forgot to mention, sorry. But yeah, they all, if they did have the penalties, they would all be within the chance of winning the Austrian Grand Prix. It's so manic, this race. 3 safety cars, and this is the closest near the end of the race, Tim.
Yeah, and there is an update on your time penalties. 3 seconds for Melonade, Tinnis, and Partytrev. 6 seconds for Simon Palmer. 3 seconds for Junior Tiger and Sir Spud as well. Coming to the penultimate lap now, it looks like, as Daryl Whiffen comes out of the final corner. His teammate very close in tow, and Russman putting an enormous amount of pressure on Daryl Whiffen's teammate as they race into turn number 1, lap 35 of 36. It's all come down to this, and it looks like Smoke was having a look on Party Trev for the 6th position, could not get the job done.
Melanade's getting close. He's getting close to make the move onto Russman. 2 in the bed at turn 3. No! Melanade is going to do the old switcheroo. Go on! Go on! You want to make the move? You can't do it now. Melanade is struggling to try and make the move onto Russman. Joe and Daryl need Russman and Melanade to have a good battle, because that would help them. They've got 2 more laps, Tim. They have got 2 more laps to hold on for dear life to get some decent points, Tim.
Yeah, and you're right, Malc. Melanade is definitely Daryl Whiffen and Joe Hamster's best friend right now. He is putting a lot of pressure on Russman, who is otherwise charging to those top 2 drivers. However, you do have to take into consideration, as we look at the tires here, is that Russman does have a very old medium tires. 20 laps on his tires this time around. Going to be 21 when we finish this race. Last lap here, Melanade putting pressure on Russman. Thought about making a move into turn 1. Couldn't do it, right on the back of that Alpine car. But the Alpine, he's got some DRS. And also Tennis putting some pressure on Melanade as well. We have got a lot of battles happening in the final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix, and there goes Tennis looking underneath Melanade, not able to do anything with it. Meanwhile, Russman, he is right on the back of Joe Hamster. Joe Hamster pretty much defending for his teammate at the moment. This could be Daryl Whiffen's win here, but Russman has got to find a way around Joe Hamster if he is going to challenge Daryl for this win. The opportunities are fading as we get closer to that checkered flag, but Russman is not going to give up until the very end. He might be able to get second here on Joe Hamster. Joe Hamster, absolute defense mode. Call him Sergio Perez for Daryl Whiffen's Max Verstappen, and it is going to be Daryl Whiffen who leads them into the penultimate corner. Joe Hamster with a big line of cars behind him. Melanade side by side with Russman for the final podium spot, and off the final corner, it's going to be Daryl Whiffen who wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Joe Hamster in second place, Russman in P3, and then after the time penalties, ARL gets into the 4th position. Melanade and Smoke 5th and 6th, Tennis in 7th, Party Trev in 8th, 9th is JP, Speed Queen 80 in the 10th position, it looks like, but we still got to wait for some of these drivers to finish their own races.
What a race. What an unbelievable race. That is absolutely fantastic stuff. Brilliant race overall. Well done to Daryl, Joe and Russman. We'll get their thoughts in a moment. I'm sure Joe will be absolutely delighted to get his first podium of the season. Same with Daryl as well. Reigns says, what a crazy race. Absolutely. We had 3 safety cars in the feature race, and we did not know who was going to win this race because it was so close, but absolutely mad. And now Stephen's about to cross the line now to finish off the race itself. But what a drive. What a drive for the top 3. And I'll tell you what, I want to watch it again now, because that was a classic, Tim.
It really was, and that was a fantastic race at the Austrian Grand Prix, and very excited to hear from our top 3 drivers here in just a moment. When they get in here, we will be able to interview them, but I think it's safe to say that people watching enjoyed that.
Oh, well, they definitely have, because it was an unbelievable race. It was an absolute unbelievable race. And well done to Daryl. He'll be laughing now, because he just absolutely fantastic stuff. He's strolling his way into the podium now, and he's dancing his way into first place. Fantastic stuff. And well done to Joe, actually. Finish off in second. Russman, unbelievable drive from him to try and put the pressure on. I think another lap or so would be the way forward. But Tim, I'll let you do the honours. Sorry.
Yeah, in your officially unofficial finishing results for the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League Austrian Grand Prix. Daryl Whiffen in first, Joe Hamster in second, ARL in third, Russman in fourth, fifth is Melanate, Smoke in sixth, seventh is Michael, Tennis in eighth, Simon Palmer in ninth, 10th is Speed Queen, Party Trev in 11th, 12th is Steven, JP in 13th, 14th is Ginger Tiger, Sir Spud in 15th, 16th is Sab, Sunboy in 17th, 18th is Tadeli. And just a recap of the sprint race finish, Daryl Whiffen was in first, Michael Luke in second, Joe Hamster in third, Simon Palmer fourth, ARL in fifth, Speed Queen 80 in sixth, seventh was Steven, Ginger Tiger was in eighth, ninth was Tennis, then Sab was in the 10th place, Melanade, Sunboy, Sir Spud, Tadeli, JP, Smoke, Russman, Party Trev. The remainder of the sprint race results. Now remember, the lineup for next races or next week's sprint race will be the reverse grid order of this week's finishing order. But now it is time for our top 3 interviews. Who do we have in here, Malc?
We will have, just bear with me a sec, just make sure that we get everything all sorted and ready to go. We have got the legendary Russman. We'll try and get Daryl and Joe to hear their thoughts on the top 3, but just bear with us a sec. But Tim, give us your thoughts in more depth while I'll try and get the other 2 to join in for your thoughts of the race itself.
It was an action-packed race that I believe saw track position and clean air really favor a driver. Whenever you saw a driver get a restart or get a good start, and the case of the race start, of course, it seemed as though they were just able to pull ahead, whereas when you got caught in traffic, you were really just bogged down and got stuck in DRS trains and just could not make the moves that you needed to make. So overall, track position really benefiting drivers here, and we saw that play a key role throughout the whole race.
Absolutely, and I bet the guys have just had enough of safety cars this evening, to be fair, but it was an absolute belter of a race. So we have got the top 3 in. So before you guys say anything, please make sure your voice is allowed to be shared. If you're not sure to do it, go to the party settings. There's an option called allow voice to be shared. Make sure it's set to always allow. So while the guys are slowly building up for their mics to make sure they're all set and ready to go, we have got the top 3 drivers of Daryl, Joe, and also Russman. I've forgot my names now, to be fair. So Daryl, Joe, and Russman. I do apologise, mate. You probably kill me after with that. But here we go. So we'll have the top 3 drivers in to hear their thoughts. So guys, are you all set, ready to go?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Last thing is make sure you like and subscribe, guys, on the stream. Be a massive help to myself and Tim as the commentators, as well as the Invictus Racing League on the YouTube channel. So Tim, I'll let you do the honours for the podium questions.
And first things first, we'll start with our winner, Daryl Whiffen. And I must admit, I did not have you pegged to win this race, but you made a liar out of me in spades. Tell me, though, let's go back to that sprint race. How crucial do you think that restart for you was to lead to this result?
Yeah, probably quite crucial, really. I saw, I think it was Simon was behind me, and we was all kind of weaving. I saw he was a little bit behind me and still weaving. I just thought, okay, this is my chance, just go and see if I can catch him off guard. And I think by turn 1, I was almost a second ahead, and I just thought with then only a few laps to go, fully RS, it was just time to kind of drain it and just put away. And so, yeah, kind of worked out nicely.
What was the communication like with your teammate there in the closing laps? Because we saw you two actually have a bit of a battle, but at the end it seemed as though you were a little bit quicker.
Yeah, in the actual race, we were just the plan was to try to use the DRS to pull each other along, because obviously being first you don't get it, so the idea was to use the DRS to pull each other along and try and pull away from the guys behind, but it actually almost backfired, because I think at one point they were 3 seconds behind, and then when we started doing it they got to almost a second, so I felt a little bit quicker, and we decided to let me go and try and pull away a little bit, but also try and keep Joe within a second, and thankfully here again it paid off. But we saw Russman on the mediums and was a little bit worried he was going to get us at the end, but worked out well in the end there. Nice 1-2, and a 1-3 as well in the sprint.
Well, it was a good result for you, and congratulations on your win.
Thanks.
And now we'll go and talk to his teammate, Joe Hamster. In the Alfa Romeo, Joe, a very good showing, a fantastic result in P2, but it seems as though there at the end you had to play a little bit of defense. So what was that like from your perspective?
I think DRS trains are such a big factor around this track that we were a little bit worried, but I sort of was just keeping it in the back of my head that I know if I just stay within Daryl's DRS, then Russell shouldn't be able to get too close behind me.
Now, how much of that there at the end was a team game, and how much of it was you trying to fight for the lead? Because obviously there were no team orders, but there was respect among teammates.
It was 100% a team game. There was no battle the whole time. Daryl was leading from lap one. I think we'd already agreed that if we had the space and I was still ahead, that Daryl would go on and win it because it was only fair.
Well, all the same, you all showed them how to do it today in Austria. It's a 1-2 finish for not Fast nor Furious, but I think you were Fast and Furious today.
Yeah, the name was a bit of a joke because we didn't really expect this, but you know what? We'll take what we can get for now.
All right, so congratulations on your second place finish. Now we'll go and talk to P3 of Russman. Russman, you had to gain a lot of positions to get to this podium spot. Tell us how you were able to do it.
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I can't quite believe I finished P3 that race. It was a horrible race, if I'm being brutally honest. I felt like everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I had a broken wing on the first lap, and then another broken wing later on in the race. Yeah, I mean, fortunately, I felt like the safety cars came at a perfect time for me, really, to dip in and repair my wing. Yeah, other than that, I don't know how I've done it. I felt like the Alpine just had no pace whatsoever. Yeah, and yet I've managed to finish P3. I don't know how. Really don't.
So we saw your teammate of Smoke struggle quite a bit throughout the race. Were you sharing in his struggles, or was it just an entirely different ballgame for you, considering that it was two different cars?
Well, we were both in a party together, sort of ruining our luck. But yeah, I can't even remember what the turning point was. Well, actually, I came out of the pits after the second safety car. I started on mediums and then changed to the hards quite early in the race because I had to repair my wing. And then I felt it was too soon to go soft. I don't think the softs would have lasted, so I ended up putting old mediums back on. So towards the end of the race, although I felt like I was gaining on Joe and Daryl, it was just becoming all the more difficult to keep control of the car. So yeah, those last 5 or 6 laps were intense, but it was just about keeping it on the track and bringing it home, to be honest. Crazy race.
Well, all the same, you get P3. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
And with that, that is all the time that we have. But thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to all the drivers that raced with us. Congratulations to our top 3 finishers. This has been the Invictus Racing League's Realistic Performance League, brought to you in partnership with GridFinder.com. And until next time, have fun and goodbye.